Hey everyone, what's up? Hope your week is going great. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to talk about a few things. So first up, just a reminder, the auditions for Total Drama Reunion are due on July 31st. So after the 31st of this month, I will no longer be accepting any auditions, so please keep that in mind. I've been getting a lot of awesome stuff from you guys, so please keep it up. From the auditions that I've listened to so far, they sound awesome, and I'm so excited to see what else you guys have to bring to the table. So keep it up, and once again, thank you guys for all of your support. So a few days ago, I sat down and had a conversation with Noah, a fellow YouTuber. If you're not familiar with Noah, he's been on YouTube for a lot longer than I have, and I will provide a link to his channel in the description below. So yeah, basically we just sat down and had an interesting little chat about all things Total Drama. We talked about Total Drama Reunion, my upcoming fan-made project, and we also talked about his YouTube channel and just his thoughts on the series as a whole, since he's been here a lot longer than I have. I thought it was a very insightful conversation. I learned a lot from it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Okay, so like I said to you earlier, you've been in this community a lot longer than I have. You've been on YouTube for a lot longer than I have.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, I wanted to get your insight on the community, like the fandom for Total Drama. Like, have you seen like an increase in popularity over the years that you've sort of been a part of this community?
I've seen a significant decline, actually.
Oh,
Like the
really?
opposite. Yeah. I mean, like, well, here recently, it's definitely increased with so many different custom series going on at once. I mean, we've had Bonk Out Productions doing Gone Wild for a few years now.
Yeah, shout out to him. Like
And
his stuff is really impressive. Like
yeah,
it looks awesome.
yeah, definitely. And then Oskay Island, Chester 801, Oskay Island's dropping the comic, and it's really high quality, and he's animating too as well. And then we've got like Cove, Total Drama Next Generation has been doing his My Way series, and he's coming back. He retired, and then with quarantine and everything, he's like he picked the worst time to retire because he wanted to retire and then just go out and do a bunch of stuff, and then we get locked down. He's coming back with his own season, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and there's a lot of buzz around these custom seasons, and so that's kind of a lot of fans are coming back at this moment. But over the years, there was definitely a decline in people in the community, and I mean my channel grew, but I could still see like that there were just it just didn't feel as active. But here recently, it's definitely gotten a lot more active, definitely.
I've also noticed that like on Netflix, the show has been trending like a lot, at least in
Yeah,
the US. So that's really
yeah,
cool.
it trends a lot on Netflix. You'd think they see the value in it, but I don't know. There's so many shows that have value though. Like they could bring back any show and it would do well, like Rugrats would do awesome, Avatar would do awesome. Like there's so many shows that you could bring back and they would do well. But the problem with a lot of those shows is they don't have the rights to them. But Netflix, according to Tom McGillis, has the potential or technically has the right to renew the show and work out a deal. Like they have the opportunity to work out a deal with Fresh TV and all the rights holders if they wanted to. And I guess publicly there has been no deal worked out, but they might have tried in the outside. I don't know. Or in behind the scenes they might have tried to do something. I have no idea, but
Right.
I never heard of anything.
I think like I've been thinking lately with the I don't know if you watch Adventure Time, but they
I do
recently
not.
revived the show with like a spin-off series on HBO Max. I think HBO
Yeah.
Max would be a great place for Total Drama. Because, I mean, it's
Yeah, HBO
HBO,
Max is
like,
getting a lot of stuff.
yeah, I think that would be like a really cool option too.
Definitely.
So, I saw that you created a Netflix petition.
I did.
how did that come about?
Well, I had just I don't know, I came up with the idea to make a petition like a few years ago, and with one of my buddies, Cove actually, him and I made this petition, and we had talked to Netflix, and I had talked to somebody in Netflix
Oh, so you
before.
actually like contacted Netflix.
Do what?
You actually contacted Netflix?
Yeah, I had talked to someone who worked at Netflix.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'd basically just like, mentioned that I wanted to try to get this show renewed, and that the creator said that it was possible for Netflix to pick up the show, and it's a really popular show, and it's already on Netflix like the old seasons are. It's like, so Netflix is obviously interested in it. There's obviously value in the property. My phone's going off, but there's obviously value in the property, otherwise they wouldn't have it on Netflix.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I, just kind of told him that, and he was just like, well, you could create a petition and just get people to like email Netflix, write Netflix, like just get awareness for it. And if you get a lot of people, you could have a good chance. And I was like, well, yeah, there's this fan group I'm a moderator in on Facebook that has like some of the people that work on the show, and there's a lot of people in there. And he's like, well, how many people are in there? And I told him there's a few thousand. He's like, well, if you have a few thousand people actively, pushing for this, then they will definitely see it and definitely consider it. And then, so that's kind of what gave me the motivation to make it and push it. And then I had a subscriber of mine email me, and this was a word of mouth claim. There was no like actual proof of this, but I just kind of rolled with it. And they basically just said that they had emailed Netflix or talked to Netflix, and somebody had said that if there was 25,000 signatures, then around that number is whenever Netflix would start considering, like looking into it more. And so we got over 25,000 signatures. There's like 30 some thousand on there now.
Yeah, that's
And
very
now
impressive.
yeah. I mean,
Like
it's
you,
cool to see that many signatures,
yeah,
but
you got some
um,
serious traction.
yeah, and there was even an article written about the petition by like Fan Pop or something, and they had like said like Netflix users, or what was it, like something Total Drama fans urge Netflix to pick up Total Drama, or Netflix users urge Netflix to pick up Total Drama, something like that, and it shouted out the petition in my channel and everything, and yeah, it was cool, but nothing really has nothing's kind of come from it, and a lot of people, the younger fans don't really understand what's going on, and they hear
Yeah.
25,000 signatures and they think, oh, once we get 25,000, a new season will come out tomorrow, and it's just not how it works. But
Yeah,
I
and
personally have kind of stopped pushing the petition. I haven't mentioned it in probably like a year. It's just kind of organically growing at this point. And yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't really heard anything. Netflix never really contacted Netflix since then, and I don't know. I just kind of just I don't know, just kind of quit pushing it and everything as a whole.
I mean, I still see it like it's floating around. It still gets signatures. But I think it's important that like I was talking to you earlier. I've been seeing a lot of like fan made projects like popping up all over the internet, all over
Yeah,
the community. And those types of projects are super, super important, um, because they give us visibility. They can help. They give the series more traction. And the more attention that these types of projects get, the better chance that we have that maybe something could come of that. So, yeah, I just think that kind of stuff is
yeah,
really important. And so is your
absolutely.
petition.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Like, if people want the show to come back, Netflix is not going to read your mind. You have to tell them and you have to push for it. But I don't, I don't know, man. I mean, it would definitely to get Netflix to consider it, or any platform to consider it. I've tried to get into contact with Tom McGillis, the creator. I've talked to him before, but I've tried to, see like, okay, well, you know, you said that Netflix can take this show if they want to. How should we go about doing this? They don't really help us out very much. I don't think the creators of the show want Netflix to take it, or I don't think they want anybody else working on the show. I think they're very controlling, and they don't want anybody taking the project, which is fine, but they kind of remind me of like that annoying sibling who has 10 toys and is only playing with one,
Yeah.
and you go to grab one to play with, and they're like, no, that's mine. You know, even though they're not playing with it,
Yeah.
it's theirs.
No,
And so it's kind of unfortunate how they act like that. But I don't know. I haven't talked to Tom in a while. Him and I were supposed to do an interview. Dramarama came out, and I basically said that it was like a huge disappointment, and I trashed it horribly, and then they stopped talking to me after that.
oh no. I saw he
Yeah.
did like a Q&A on the subreddit. I don't know if anything came of that, but
Yeah, that was
that was a while ago.
That was where he had said that Netflix could pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where all this started then?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if he regrets saying that, because he hasn't said like anything since then. Like, I haven't heard anything from Tom or any of them. Like, none of them have said a word since Dramarama was announced, and everybody just trashed them. I think at that point they just washed their hands with the fans of the show, and they just don't care now. They just do what the network executives tell them, and as long as their pockets are getting filled, they don't care.
I will say, a few of the voice actors are still pretty invested in the community. Like, I saw you did a video on Brian Froud, who is the voice
Brian's
of Harold, for whoever doesn't know. So that's cool.
Yeah,
like, he's definitely, like, I'll link his channel below, but you guys should definitely check him out. He's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, a lot of the voice actors and actresses are still active on the show, and they still like it a lot. And
Yeah.
obviously I have no ill will towards anybody that works for the show. I think a lot of the people on the show kind of took my comments personally whenever I said that I didn't like Dramarama, and that they had led us on. And it's true, I was, and I still am, but, you know, at this point, it's just like, you know, it's 3 years ago, it's time to move on. But I think that a lot of them kind of took it personally. I hope that none of the voice cast did. Brian and I have a different relationship, because whenever he was replaced, I got on and I tore into Fresh for replacing Brian.
Wait, so he was replaced on Dramarama, so he doesn't voice Harold in that?
Yeah, he does not voice Harold. It's
Oh,
actually,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if I'm getting this correctly, it is the voice actor for Chet from Redonkulous Race. His name is like Darren Frost, I think.
Okay.
I believe he voices Harold on there.
All right. Yeah, I did not know that. I heard that they replaced the voice actress for Gwen, Megan Fallenbach. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly.
Yeah.
So that sucks, but.
And then Noah's voice actor, Carter Hayden, was also replaced, and he's now voiced by Corey Doran, who voiced Mike. Yeah, and I've talked to Corey. Corey's a great guy. So if anyone was to take over the role of Noah, I'm glad that it was Corey.
Yeah. Whatever you think about the character Mike, I definitely think he did a great job, like, as an actor with the role. Like,
oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he was awesome.
For sure.
Just want to change gears a bit here. I first saw this show in 2008, I believe it was, when it was airing on Cartoon Network. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. And, like, I just became obsessed, like, immediately. I wanted to know how did you, like, get invested in the show? Like, when was the first time that you saw the show?
So I didn't get into Total Drama because of the show. I got into it because of the game, or .com.
The game?
I always played, like, all those old games, and I found the Total Drama page, and I followed along with it. So I never watched, like, Island on TV. I found out Who Went Home because on the original website they had, like, a lineup of all the characters.
Right.
And you could, like, hover over them and it'd say their name and something about them.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. That website was amazing.
Yeah.
I used to be obsessed with that website.
They would, like, say a catchphrase if you'd hover over them and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and they would get blacked out if they got eliminated. So the characters that were in color were still in the game, and the characters that were black and white were eliminated. And I vividly remember when Duncan got blacked out, and I was upset because I loved his character, even though I never watched the show. I just was rooting for him. And then I remember the page whenever Owen won, and it was like a big page. It was a big screen that said "Congratulations, Owen," and you could probably still find that online. And so that was cool. And then I think that was the last time they did that. I don't doing it for action or anything.
So you had it spoiled for you.
Yeah, but I mean, I followed it. Like, I followed it purposefully. You know, like I didn't just
Right.
Owen as one and be like, oh man, like I went there with the intent of finding out who was still in the game. And then I never watched action for the longest time. Didn't watch World Tour. I remember seeing promos for World Tour, but I think I probably watched episodes on YouTube or clips, but I don't remember. And then Revenge of the Island was the first season I watched on TV, but I didn't watch it all the way through. I remember watching like the first few episodes, then not watching it, and then coming back. But yeah, and then All Stars was the first season that I watched all the way through.
Okay.
On TV, and then I did Pocateo and Redonkulous Race all the way through. But yeah, so that is how I got into the show. I, to this day, barely remember anything about action or World Tour.
I'm honestly in the same boat. Like, I watched Total Drama Island, like live, but I never watched action and World Tour until like much later. So
Yeah,
I don't know why. Like, World Tour is really good. It's really awesome.
definitely.
So I don't know. I missed out. So I just have one more question that I really wanted to ask you. So I just want to talk a little bit more about the future of the series. Say that it does get renewed, and it is streaming on Netflix. What do you want to see? Like, ideally, what do you want to see? Like, in terms of a new season?
So I think the proof of what needs to happen is in you, in the love for reunion. I would not do a reunion season if I would ever do a season like that. It'd be the last season.
Okay.
I would do what I would do personally is I would do one final season with all of the big characters, like just like a big all-stars basically, just as a way to remind the fans why they loved the show, bring back all the big characters and just do one proper send-off with them. And then after that, I would say you can maybe do an underdog season with some of the other original characters, but if you're not doing an underdog season, then I would definitely, after that point, introduce new cast, new host, new location, everything, and then you can set it up to do a couple seasons with all those characters, and then after that I would bring back, or I would do like some type of integration with old characters from the original generations and then new characters from this new generation, and then like have a host battle between Chris and this new host and things like that. That's what I would do.
See, like, they need to hire you as a writer. Those are awesome ideas. I love it. I love it. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, man. I think it'd be cool. I would also, like, if I had the rights to the show, I would not just do the competition format of like Survivor. I would also have Redonkulous Race be going at the same time. So I would have like two teams. I would have a team working on the Survivor, like classic total drama, and then I would have a team working on Redonkulous Race, and I would have like a season of total drama go from like, you know, say you do 22 episodes in a season or 26. I would have, because Netflix airs weekly content now, like they
Right.
do that for some shows.
Yeah.
So I would have 26 weeks dedicated to one season of the total drama, and then I'd say you take a couple weeks off, and then you do a Redonkulous Race season. That's what I would do. I would split it up. I would do total drama and Redonkulous Race at the same time, because I think Redonkulous Race is a good outlet for the characters that, well, for one, you're introducing new characters, and then also I think it's a fantastic spot for some characters that did not get time to shine and were not brought back in the season. So characters, you know, like Brick or Sammy, you know, like B, just so many characters. Katie and Sadie, obvious choice. You know, that's what I would do personally. And then I've always loved the idea of doing a spin-off show, just like a little one-off, like like a one-off, like 8-episode spin-off with Owen and Noah, and it's their time after Total Drama competing in miscellaneous reality shows. Because they mentioned
Oh,
doing that in Redonkulous
yeah,
Race,
that's
where
an
they go into
awesome
different
idea.
shows.
I love that
Thank you,
idea.
man. Yeah, so that's another thing I would do. Um, I would try to create like a universe, like like you have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would
Total
create it with
drama
Total Drama.
cinematic universe.
I would 100% do the Dramaverse, and I would have like so many different shows within, and I think it would. There's just so much potential
Agreed.
with it, and I think that they see it as this little one-off reality show spoof, and there's so much more than that, man. So much more.
I know, I feel like the one problem I have with the older or sorry, the newer seasons is that I feel like sometimes they tend to like sacrifice character development for like jokes. And
Right.
I think what made the original series so great is cuz of the characters. Like you're invested in the characters. You want them to succeed because they're just
Yeah.
good characters. Like they have good writing behind them. They're relatable. They're interesting, and I feel like some of that was kind of lost with the newer seasons. So
Yeah, you care about who goes far in Island and Action and World Tour,
yeah,
and even Revenge, but like in Pacateo, like I didn't care about like 80% of that cast. I thought most of those characters sucked. And Redonkulous Race did a good job of making good cast, but looking back on Redonkulous Race, there was a lot of filler teams on that. A lot of teams that were not obvious, or like were very obvious non-winning teams.
I mean, yeah, I feel like
Like,
there are a lot of characters that weren't written very well, but I think all of the characters have potential to like be more.
sure,
So yeah, I like your idea
definitely.
of like expanding the show. That's an awesome idea.
Thank you.
So yeah, total drama cinematic universe. You heard it here first, confirmed.
Yeah, if I had an editor that could make the episodes like Cove does, I'd pay them to do those episodes, and I'd hire a team of like 10 people, a couple of writers, and I would sit down for like a couple of weeks and just write out a bunch of that stuff, and I would just say, "Now here's your money, go do it," and I would just go do my own thing on YouTube while they made all of those shows together, and then once they were all done, I'd go and take them and use them as pilots and pitch them. That's what I would
Hey,
do.
hey, sounds like a plan to me. I mean, I'd watch it for sure.
It'd be fun. It'd be cool to do. All I'm asking, Tom McGillis, if you're watching this video, all I'm asking, man, is give me a chance. Give me a chance. I know what the people want.
Yeah,
You
give him
know
a
how I know? They're
chance.
in my comments every day.
He knows
I
what
know
he's
what they
talking
want.
about. No one knows what he's talking about. He's got some solid
Yeah, man.
ideas. I'll vouch for
It'd
you.
be cool. Thank you, thank you. And a good thing about doing like Netflix or like HBO Max is it's not a network. Like you don't have executives, like you don't have 80-year-old billionaires trying to tell you how to write a cartoon show about teenagers.
Right.
Like I've never understood that. Like I don't need somebody as old as Ted Turner trying to tell me how to write a total drama island season. You know, it's like what the heck are they gonna know about something like that? You know, like get out
Facts.
of here. That's I don't know. And also, if I had the show, quickly I will say, I would do stuff with it other than just the episodes. I'm dropping merch. I'm doing Funko Pops. I'm doing YouTube videos, like and interacting with fans. Like, why did they wonder how shows like Steven Universe and Regular Show and all of those shows like Teen Titans Go survived? It's because they monetized what they did. You know, they had merch. They made toys that kids could play with. Like they did so much stuff.
And
You
they
know, like
actually
Regular Show had
advertised the show.
awesome merch. Like Regular Show had toys. Like Teen Titans Go is makes a lot of money. Like people complain about Teen Titans Go being on the air and they want Cartoon Network to take it down. That would be one of the worst decisions Cartoon Network has ever made if they canceled Teen Titans Go. It is one of their most profitable shows because kids like it and they buy the merch. So you got to make Total Drama do the same thing. And it blows my mind, dude, that Dramarama does not have toys yet. It blows my
Uh,
mind. How are there not toys for that show? They would sell. Dramarama is getting like the same amount of views as like the amount of views that Dramarama is getting is close to Teen Titans Go. So how are you
Right.
not trying to sell merch and toys and everything? I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I think I agree. They're definitely missing out. Like, I don't think I've ever seen any like merchandise for the Total Drama series.
Yeah,
I think there's like a
they've had
few
some, but it's
things,
been
but
horrible.
yeah.
Like, you can't honestly tell me that you could not see like a shirt with Chris McClane laughing maniacally with like fire and everything around him, and then like the Total Drama logo. Like, you can't tell me you couldn't see that shirt on like the big T-shirt display at a Hot Topic or something like that.
I'd buy it.
Exactly, like people would buy that. Like,
Yeah.
and you can see that. Like, I can walk into a Hot Topic and I could probably find 10 different Cartoon Network shows.
I know, and Total Drama is like a classic. Like it might
Exactly.
not be as popular as some of these other shows, but it's still like it's a classic. Like people love it. So I don't know what
Yeah,
their thinking is, but they're missing out for sure. I totally feel you. Like it's frustrating because there's so much potential there, but it's not like it's not being realized. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it sucks, but I have optimism for the future of the series. Like I said, like we need more fan projects. Like that kind of stuff is important. Um, this community, like when this community comes together, like that's when change happens. So
Exactly.
if we just keep doing what we're doing, keep making our own stuff, keep trying to get the Fresh TV's attention, Cartoon Network's attention, I'm sure that something will happen eventually. You just never know. So I'm trying to have optimism about it. I see a bright future for this series. I can't wait to see what happens.
Absolutely.
All right, and on that note, that positive note, I'm gonna go ahead and end that video here. Thank you, Noah, for joining me.
For sure,
Please check out his channel in the description. We filmed a video together earlier, so I will link that below. And without further ado, if you like my content, go ahead and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.
Peace out.
All right, really quick before I go, I'd just like to thank all of my Patreons. Special thanks to Stefan, Jake Long, Amarian, Carolina, Destiny Elise, Ross, Pandacula, Superman, Anan D. Taz, Courtney, Fanatic Mantis, Trey Roberts, Meat Freak 366, Dallas Roberts, Michael Hawes, Sharpclaw Sean, Isabella Casal, Cuba Casterna, Austin Mantor, Michael Lucker, Luke, Ryan Grubbs, Eduardo Santiago, Jaw X Abel, Uncreative User, Ask Sonata Dusk, Joe Jakimsuk, Jamie Gladek, Sadie Beltran, Margaret Diaz, Man Band 20, Bethany Lawrence, and Panini. I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.